Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to give you my long overdue review for WRC 9. This game came out in September of last year, so it's been out for almost a year now. 10 months. I think we're pretty close to exactly 10 months since this game has come out. I have this review is for Xbox Series X as well as PlayStation 5. And I can go ahead and review it for Xbox One X because I did have it on the X. I bought it on Xbox One X. So basically, Xbox One X was a pretty decent experience, although it was capped at 30 frames per second on the last gen hardware. You did get pretty close to a 4K resolution, and it looked pretty good. It looked pretty sharp. Like it wasn't a bad experience on the Xbox One X by any means. The PlayStation or the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are a completely different story. This game offers 3 modes for these consoles. You get the 4K 30. And then you get 4K-ish, 60 frames a second. I can say that the Xbox Series X, when you switch between 4K 30 and 4K 60, it like the resolution does not downgrade that much. It still looks pretty good, pretty sharp. The 60 FPS is where it really shines, though, in that mode. On the PlayStation 5, it does seem to lack more detail in the 4K mode, but I mean, if you're only playing on PlayStation 5, it's not a big deal. You won't be able to tell. It looks pretty good either way you go. This game really shines at the 120 FPS mode, though. So if you have a TV capable of doing 120 FPS, doesn't matter if it's HDMI 2.1, as long as your TV will do 120. Because this mode's only in 1080p, so you'll be able to play this game at 1080p at 120 frames a second, which is a super smooth experience. It feels really good, and at 120 FPS, you really can't tell much, you know. Yeah, I mean, you can notice that it does look softer, but it's so immersive that it doesn't really even matter. Like it is an amazing experience. So. In this title, we have 14 locations. You have with 109 track variations between all 14 of those locations. So you've got a lot of different tracks. You know, you got your short ones and then your really long ones. So basically, is what it is each location will have a really long course, but then they'll chop it into sections, and then you can drive those forward or reverse. So it definitely gives you a lot of options to drive through, and I've been playing this game for 10 months now, and I'm still not tired of it. And yes, I have hit these rallies a lot. I haven't even played the career mode. Let me get that part out first. I rarely ever go into like a career mode for these games. I play these mainly to increase my my skill, to better myself, to challenge myself. You know, I like to place on the leaderboards and stuff. I do not play these for the career mode whatsoever. I've tried it a couple times. That's just not the experience that I buy these for, or that I'm looking for when I play rally games. I play rally games purely for the thrill of doing the rally courses. There are challenges in this game. There are challenges that you can do that are kind of that are far more entertaining for me to do than doing the career. There's like a set list of challenges that you can go through and knock off as you're going, and like those are really fun. There's also an open area, like a kind of like a little bit of an open world place where you can go and test your setup and drive around. It's pretty good. It's got a pretty decent, you know, variation of driving surfaces, driving roads. basically it's like driving right around like a little city and farm area and stuff, and that's really cool. I love that addition to this game. You can go out there and drive around. um, you also have training courses and testing and stuff like that that make this game far more approachable than something like Dirt Rally 2.0. I've been going back and forth on this. I started playing the Kiloton, race WRC games around WRC 7, and then I got the V Rally 4, also made by Kiloton, and these games have dramatically gotten better with every single year. Every single release has been far better than the last one. Right now at 9, these guys are at a pinnacle and at a place where they're getting better, and these games have grown in so much, both in terms of performance as well as handling. I like these games. I was going back and forth. Well, with WRC 8 is where I started to really start taking Kiloton far more serious in the sim racing, in the rally sim. And then 9, it pushed it over the top with the 60 FPS mode for the Xbox Series X. I would much rather play WRC 9 than play Dirt Rally 2.0. I love Dirt Rally. I love Codemasters. I've been playing Codemasters rally games since Colin McRae Rally on the Xbox, on the Xbox, the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. So it goes back a while with Codemasters. But Kiloton has quickly made a name for itself in the rally games market, and I think honestly, after playing WRC 9, I think it was a huge mistake to take that license, because they will be losing this license, I believe, in 2023 to Codemasters, and I think that was a terrible mistake, because these guys have really put in the work to make this one of the better rally racing games on the market. Like, I would highly recommend a WRC 9 over Dirt Rally 2.0 almost any day of the week at this point. So it will, if you have a next gen console, for sure. It does have a robust career mode. It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. I did play through it on I did play around with it on WRC 8. WRC 9, I just have had far more fun just doing the rallies, and that I haven't had any need to go and play that. This just doing rallies and playing this whenever I want to has kept me more than satisfied with my purchase of this game on both consoles. The PlayStation 5 version does have the haptics on this, and I've got to say, the haptics implementation on WRC 9 on the PlayStation 5 is really good. Like, it's good. You can feel the different surfaces as you go over. You can feel when your car's sliding. You can feel it. It's so much easier to like correct the oversteer and everything because of that feeling that you get. The car's body weight and everything was transferred pretty accurately to the controller. The triggers, they definitely feel okay. I mean, it definitely does work on this game, and this is by far one of the better games that I've actually experienced on the PlayStation 5, that I think the haptic feedback and the triggers are actually worth the investment into. They actually add to the experience far more than anything else. As for the Xbox version, I play with the Elite Series 2, so I definitely feel like it does feel pretty good. The PS5 controller on this one does feel better, but neither one of them can match my sim rig, which is unbelievable. That's probably the biggest reason I recommend WRC 9 over Dirt Rally 2.0 is because the force feedback and the feeling you get from the wheel while playing WRC 9 to me feels a lot more. It feels a lot better than it does on the Codemasters racing side of things. it feel like I feel like I get more information through the force feedback on WRC9 than I do on on Dirt Rally. So I have been there are more settings on WRC9 that you can dial in. You know, you're feeling, you know, how you want it, like what you want to feel, what surfaces you want to feel, the springs, you know, how you want to feel, like weight transfer, stuff like that. It feels a lot better, and it's a much better experience, in my opinion, than playing with than playing Dirt Rally 2.0. I highly recommend that if you have a sim rig, you give WRC9 a try. And like right now is the perfect time to pick it up. You can usually get it on sale pretty decently, and we got WRC 10 coming out at the beginning of September. So right now is, I don't necessarily mean like go out and buy WRC 9, but it is the reason why I'm doing this review now and I haven't done it sooner is because I believe that WRC 10 is going to be top quality. I believe that game is going to really show us just how far these guys have come with the new driving models and everything. I do recommend the WRC series over Dirt Rally at this point. I do love my Dirt Rally. I do love the way it plays and feels and everything like that, but gosh, when it comes, like, I don't know, man. WRC9 has just become my go-to rally racer as of late. You know, I've barely touched Dirt Rally 2 since this came out, and I used to play Dirt Rally 2 like every day. So, this does have an online co-op driver mode, so you can actually play online with a friend, and they can read the turns and everything to you, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that. I haven't went out of my way to try that yet, but that's a good addition. You know, everything that they're doing to bring the real experience to you is pretty good. Like I like how WRC 9, how Kiloton has really taken this series and turned it into a how they've made it feel more realistic. The track detail on these games is freaking phenomenal. The sense of speed is good. Even at 60 frames a second, the sense of speed still feels fast. It still feels good. It feels it feels white knuckle. And once you learn how to control and how to handle these cars and stuff, my gosh, this is just one of the better rally racing games I've ever played in my life. Like I love the way this is going, and like I said earlier, I think it was a huge mistake for the WRC license to go to Codemasters. I really hope that these guys will continue to make games in the rally genre as we go forward. And the most exciting news about all this and all the work that they've put into the WRC series is that Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will be using the handling model from the WRC games. So I mean, like this series is definitely going to live on in that game, and seeing as that one's going to be an MMO, that only makes me far more excited for Solar Crown than I already was. So that's my feelings on this, and if you like this content, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.